This conference will now be recorded.
So in the last session, we have discussed how can we use custom controllers inside our Visualforce programming, and how can we design the user interfaces, how can we implement the custom business logic, and how can we invoke the business logic from the Visualforce page by using some button controls we have discussed in the last session. So we have implemented a small basic calculator application, and through that application, we are able to perform some operations. Now, so in this case, whenever we are going to be implementing your own custom business logic, we are using our own custom class, and inside the custom class, we have to write the business logic in terms of the various methods. Once the business logic is ready, then we can invoke that business logic by using the button controls with the help of action property. So now let's see how can we show some error messages on the Visualforce page. We'll see practically. So in the last session, we have implemented a small basic calculator application. And through this application, we are able to perform the basic mathematical calculations. So we are entering some values. In the first number text box, I have entered some value. In the second number text box, I'm entering the value as 0. So when you click on the addition button, addition operation has been performed and we can able to see the result. Upon click on subtraction, we are able to see the result. Upon click on multiplication, we can see the result. But when you click on division operation, it is causing some exception, because you know that already we have discussed in our Apex programming during the conditional statements that whenever we are going to be performing the division operation of a value by 0, it will be causing that exception, because we can't divide a number by 0. In Apex programming, we don't have any such a data type which can able to store the value infinitely. So in this case, it is terminating your application abnormally. It is going to showing some exception message to you. But now in this case, I don't want to terminate my application. If I did some mistake, if I have entered some wrong input values, then it has to show some message. Boss, you did some mistakes. So these are the wrong values you have entered. So please enter some correct values so that I can correct my mistake. I can pass some correct values to perform the operations. Then how can we do this? Then how can we implement this one? So how can we show the messages on my Visualforce page. I don't want to terminate my application abnormally. I want to display some error messages on my Visualforce page. Then how can we show the error messages on the Visualforce page? Now let's see practical. Now, whenever if you want to show some error messages on the Visualforce page, then we have to use the help of a tag called as page messages tag. Why? Because is Visualforce page is not having the capability to show the error messages on the page. Visualforce page is not having the capability to show the error messages on the page by default. For that one, I want to give that ability. I want to give that ability to my Visualforce page that it can show some error messages on the Visualforce page also. For that one, if we want to give that ability to the Visualforce page to show some error messages, we have to use the help of a tag called as page messages tag. So we have to add this tag inside your form level. Inside the form tag, we have to add this page messages tag. Okay, we have to add this tag inside that form tag. Okay, now then how can we use this tag and what are the various properties are available? Now let's see practically in this case, and how can we use this tag in order to show the error messages through programmatically. We'll see practically here. Now in this case, by using this tag, we can give the ability the Visualforce page to show the error messages on the page upon passing the wrong input values. So in this case, how can we add this tag over here? We need to add the tag inside the form tag. We need to add this tag inside that form tag. Now, in this case here, for example, inside the form tag, we are going to be adding the tag Apex page messages. I'm giving some reference name errors. Okay, errors. That's it. We have to add this tag. So whenever I'm adding this tag inside the form tag, then this particular tag will be giving the ability to this Visualforce page that it can show some error messages on the page. So upon performing the operations, if there is any errors has been getting occurred, then we can able to catch those errors, and those error messages we can able to show on the Visualforce page by using this page messages tag. Or else, if I'm not giving this tag inside my form level, inside that form tag, then what it will do is, whenever an exception has been occurred, then the complete application will be getting terminated. The page will be getting terminated. It will be showing that error message directly over there inside a separate page. In a separate page, it will display that error message. Now, in this case, to avoid such kind of problems, I would like to add this page messages tag inside the Visualforce page. Now, so whenever we are going to be adding this tag inside the page, then it will be having the capability. The Visualforce page is having the capability that it can show some error messages. Also. Now, what error message you want to show? Okay, what error message you want to show? Every error message will be having the two parts. Okay, every error will be having two parts over there. Like for example, assume that I'm having a Word document. So here I'm typing some information. Inside this. When I click on this close button, it will try to close this one. It is indicating that. So now, boss, you have typed some information inside this. Then what about this content? You want me to save, or you want me to simply discard this content? For that one, it is going to showing some error message. So here, upon showing this error message, it is going to be indicating that there is an icon. Okay, it is having some icon. That means a warning symbol is indicating that. So now it will be showing some message also. It will be showing some message. That means what? So now whenever we are displaying some error messages on the Visual Force page, then each and every error message will be having two parts. First one will be the error icon. Second one will be the error message. What message you want to display, what icon you want to display. Because this icon is indicating the seriousness of the problem, seriousness of the issue, the severity of the issue. Is it like as a warning? Is it like as the error? Or is it like as confirmation? Or is it like as information or what? So what kind of error it is? So based on that, we are going to display the respective icon also. So in this case, upon displaying the error messages through programming, so we can specify the error icon and then we can display that error message. Whatever the message you want, we can specify the message, and whatever the icon that you want, we can specify the icons over. Then what error icons are available inside your Visual Force, and then how can we use those icons, how to display these error messages? Now let's see. Now, upon representing the error messages on the Visual Force page, each error message contains the below two parts. First one is an error icon. Second one is the error message. Error message or description. Okay, error icon and the error message or description. Now, in this case, what error icons are available? Visual Force provides the below error icons. Okay, Visual Force provides the below error icons. Visual Force provides the below error icons. In order to show these error icons, we are having this possibility, like Apex pages dot severity dot confirm. That means confirmation symbol. Confirmation symbol means a green color tick mark. Okay. Now operation has been done. If the operation is completed successfully, we can show this confirmation. Next, Apex pages dot severity dot info. It will be indicating the information symbol, nothing but an I symbol. Next, Apex pages dot severity dot warning. It is showing that warning symbol to you. Next, Apex pages dot severity dot error. It is showing that error symbol. Apex pages dot severity dot fatal. These are the 5 error icons are available inside your Visual Force program. So whenever we are going to be displaying some error messages on the Visual Force page, we have these 5 error icons. From this one, any one of that icon we can display upon displaying that error message. While representing that error message, we have to select any one of this error icon. And then we can specify the error message or the description. Okay, now we can specify in this case. The developer can prepare the custom error message. To be get visible on the page. To be get visible on the page. So whenever we are going to be representing the error messages, okay, upon representing the error messages, we have to select any one of this error icon. Second one, we can specify the error description, the message which you want to display. So in this case, how can we display the error messages here on that Visual Force page through programming? Now, we can represent the error message on the Visual Force page through Apex programming as well. In order to show this error message on that Visual Force page through Apex programming, we have to use this syntax. We can specify Apex pages that add message. Okay. Now this is Apex pages. Nothing but Apex pages means Visual Force pages. So on this Visual Force page, please add some message. Nothing but some error message. So what new Apex pages dot message. So which message you would like to add? Okay, I'm preparing the message. This message I'm adding to my Visual First page. What is this message here? We can able to specify the error icon information, and the second one, error message. That means error description. These are the syntax we have to follow. So in order to show the error messages on the Visual First page, we have to follow this syntax. So now we have to specify Apex pages, nothing but my Visual First pages dot add message. That means I would like to add some message. I would like to add some error message. What is that? This is the new error message which I would like to add. So which will be having this error icon. This will be having this error description. Like for example, if you want to add some error message, like as Apex pages dot add message of new Apex pages dot message, here we can specify what is that error icon I want to display. Apex pages dot severity dot confirm. Okay, my operation has been done. I want to show the error message. Okay, now I would like to indicate operation completed successfully. This is the error description I want to display. Okay, now. So in this case, whenever if you want to represent the error messages on the Visual First page through programming, then we can go with that Apex pages class. That means which will be referencing the Visual First pages. On that Visual First page, we are going to be adding the message here. So which this is the new message which I'm going to be adding, which will be having this particular error icon, which will be having this error description. This is how we can able to represent. Depends upon the severity, depends upon the seriousness of the issue, we can able to show that respect to error icon also. Okay. Now, then how can we show this error message? Now let's see. Now let me go to this. So whenever I'm going to be entering the second number value as 0, upon performing the division operation, it is causing some error. It is going to be terminating my page. It is going to be showing that error message to me here. Then I don't want to terminate. I want to show some error message over here. How can we do that? Now let's see. Let's go to that business logic class which we have prepared. Now upon performing the division operation, I want to verify if the second number value is greater than 0. Okay, if the second number value greater than 0, then perform this operation. What is that operation? Please do the calculation over here. Please do this calculation. Please do the calculation. Else, okay, else. That means if the second number value is equals to 0, I want to show the error message. How? Apex pages dot add message. Now inside that, new Apex pages dot message. Here I want to show the error message, error icon over here. For that one, I'm indicating Apex pages dot severity dot warning. Severity dot warning. I want to show the warning message. Along with that, I want to display the message here. So now, division operation cannot be performed. Okay. Now, please enter second number value. Okay, please enter the valid input. Please enter the valid input. Please enter the valid input. This is the error message which I would like to represent over here. So now whenever I'm going to performing the division operation, if the division operation nothing but the second number value greater than 0, then perform the operation as it is, or else display this error message. So now I want to show the error message with the warning symbol. Division operation cannot be performed. Please enter the valid input. Suppose if the operation has been done, then I want to show some confirmation message here. Apex pages dot add message. New Apex pages message. I want to indicate apex pages dot severity dot confirm. My operation has been done. I want to indicate that. Division operation has been completed successfully. Okay, I'm displaying some message. Division operation has been completed successfully. So that whenever the operation has been done successfully, then I would like to show some message. If the operation has been failed, then I want to show some different message. Then how can we represent this one? For that one, if you want to show some error messages on the Visual Force page, inside that form tag, okay, inside the form tag, we have to add the tag over here. So what is the tag? I'm adding the tag apex page messages. Page messages, I'm indicating ID equals to some errors. Okay, ID equals to errors. Now, from now onwards, my Visual Force page is having the capability to show some error messages on the page also. But in this case, upon click on this button control, after performing the operation, if there is any errors are available, how can we show? For that one here, we need to refresh that part also. So what is that part you need to refresh? I need to specify error messages. Upon click on the button control, after performing the operation, if there is any error messages are there, I want to show that one. So I want to refresh this part also, errors part also. So in this case, re-render. Okay, upon click on the division button, I want to show that, refreshing that errors part also. Not only refreshing the result, I want to refresh that errors part information also over. Okay, we can specify. Now that's it. Done. Now here I'm indicating the value. Okay. So now 5670, I'm indicating this value over here, like some 2, 3, 4. When you click on addition, it is representing the result. Subtraction, result. Multiplication, result. Division, result. It is indicating the message to you there is a success symbol. So now because we have used that confirmation message over here, division operation has been completed successfully. And then modulus, we can able to see that result also over here. Now in this case, we are able to see this result information also. Okay, now. So if you want to refresh this part over here, then in each and every control here, okay, we have to refresh this. For each and every button control, we can refresh. If there is any error, then only it can able to display that, or else it won't display this information. Okay, now. So now I'm giving some values. I'm giving that value like as 5, 6, 7. Addition result is getting visible. Subtraction result, multiplication result, division result is getting visible over here along with the confirmation message. Modulus result will be getting visible. Now, suppose if I'm giving that value as 0, addition operation performed successfully, subtraction and the multiplication and the division. It is showing that error message with the warning symbol. So warning message is getting visible. Division operation cannot be performed. Please enter the valid input values. Previously, it is terminating my page. Okay, previously, when I use the second number value, it is terminating my page. It is going to be showing that exception message to me directly. So exception has been occurred. The application execution will be getting terminating abnormally by default. So that it is showing this error message previously. But now we are able to stay in the same page in which it show the message. Now the user can correct his operation. So he is giving the value some 10. Now click on division operation. You can see the results here. Now we are able to perform this operation successfully. Like that here, we need to show some error messages also. Like whenever we are logging into the application, whatever the username and the password we have entered, if that is not valid, then we are showing some message on the page itself. So please enter the username or password, or invalid username or password. Please check your credentials. Please contact Salesforce administrator. Like that, we are showing some message like the similar way here also. We can able to represent that error messages also. The facilities are available. So upon performing that operation, if the user has given some wrong input, so because of that, some exceptions may be getting occurred. To handle those exceptions, we are going to be using this error messages, page messages tag on your Visual Force page to represent the error messages. Okay, this is how we can represent the error messages on our Visual Force pages. Let me place this code. So design a Visual Force page to implement the basic calculator and perform the operation. Represent the error messages on the page if something went wrong. If something went wrong. If any operation has been failed, then I want to show this error messages. I would like to show the VF page code. And the controller class. Okay. This is the way we can able to design some user interfaces inside your Salesforce instance by using the Visual Force program. And we can perform the operations and we can able to handle those errors also by using this page messages tag. Now, so now let's see how can we perform the database operations. Okay, how can we perform database operations? That means how to connect to the database. It may be to insert some records, it may be to update or to delete or to perform any operation or to fetch the records also. How can we do that? So by using this Visual Force programming, not only performing some basic calculations, we can implement some complex operations also. Okay, we can perform some complex operations also by connecting to the database according to the business requirement. According to the business requirement, we can connect to the database also, objects also. It may be standard, it may be custom, any object we can connect, and then we can perform the operations. We can insert, we can update, we can delete, we can fetch, we can perform all the operations also. Then how can we connect to the database and how to perform the operations and how can we represent the result over? Okay, now let's see here in this case what we can do. Okay, how to implement that functionality. Now let's see practically over. Now. So now here in this case, for example, let me explain a small scenario. For example, assume that I have an object. So this is my account object. This is my account object. Inside this account object, I'm having some 50 records. I'm having some 50 account records are available inside my object. Inside my account object, I'm having 50 account records are available. Now my requirement is whatever the 50 records are available inside my account object, I want to collect all the 50 records from the table through an SQL query. Okay, through an SQL query, I would like to collect all the 50 records and then I want to represent those records on my Visual Force page. So I would like to have a Visual Force page. So this is the Visual Force page that we have. In this Visual Force page, now this page name is Show Account Records page. Show Account Records page. Show Account Records page. In this page, I want to show all the account records available inside my account object in a tabular format. I would like to show those records in my Visual Force page in the tabular format, like the name of that account record, rating value of this account record, and the industry of this account record, and the annual revenue value also. All this information I want to show on my Visualforce page in the tabular form. So whatever the records are available, those record values I want to represent in my Visualforce page in the tabular form. So this is the name of that account record, rating, industry, annual revenue. All this information I want to represent. So whatever the records are available inside my account object, I need to collect all those records from the object by using one SO table. Okay, I want to collect all the records from this account object with the help of this SO table query. So I would like to have an SO table query over here. I would like to have an SO table query. Through this SO table query, I would like to collect the records over here. Whatever the records are available inside my object, I would like to collect all the records with the help of this SO table query, and those records I'm going to storing inside my collection. I'm preparing a collection over here. List of account, some LST accounts. This is the collection that we have. In this collection, I'm storing all this list of account records, and those records I want to represent on my Visualforce page, okay, in the form of a tabular format. This is my requirement. Then how can we represent the records in a tabular format? Okay, now let's see practically. So we know up to this half of the part, like how to collect the data from the database by writing some SO table query, by adding conditions, filters, everything we know. This is not new. This already we know. We can use where class also, order by class also, limit class also, and then offset class and the all rows class, for update class, everything we can use, no problem. Collect the data here. So we know half of the part. How to collect the data from the object by making some SO table query, we know that. But now, how to display these records in tabular format? How to display the records in tabular format? So now, whenever if you want to display the records on the tabular format, then we have to use the help of a tag called as page block table tag. It's a page block table. Page block table is a standard tag which has been given by Visualforce by default, which contains a collection, which contains the tabular structure inbuilt, which is having the functionality to represent the records in tabular format. Okay, page block table tag is used to design a table on the Visualforce page so that we can display the records on it. Okay, page block table is a tag which has been given by Salesforce by default, which is having the inbuilt tabular structure which can represent the records in the tabular format. Now, so in this case, how can we represent the records in tabular format? What is that page block tag and what are the various properties are available? How to represent? Now let's see practically one by one. Now, so in this case, let me explain the page block table. By using Visualforce programming, we can interact with the Salesforce objects and we can perform all the DML operations on the object records, and we can fetch the records from the object by using SOQL queries. By using SOQL queries, we can fetch the records from this object also. That facility is available. Now, so in this case, how can we perform? How can we represent this records? To represent the result, records on the VF page, in tabular format, we have to use page block table tag. We have to use page block table tag. We have to use page block table tag. So now what exactly the page block table tag? Now let me explain. Page block Apex page block table tag. What is this tag? Page block table is a standard tag which is used to design a table on the Visual Force page. In order to represent a table on the Visual Force page, we are using this page block table. Like suppose if it is a HTML, to display the table on the HTML document, we are using a table tag. HTML is providing a table over here. HTML is providing a table tag by default. So by using this table tag, we can design some tables in HTML. But when coming to the Visual Force also, it is providing a tag called as page block table. That means inside the page block, we can design a table to represent some records in the tabular format. Now this tag is having the inbuilt tabular structure. It is having inbuilt tabular structure which can able to represent the records in tabular format. Just we have to pass the records. What are the records you want to show in the tabular format? Collect those records, store inside the collection, pass the collection to the page block table tag, then it will take care of automatically. It will be representing the records in tabular structure automatically by default, because this tag is having the inbuilt tabular structure by default. So we no need to design the table manually, everything. Just we have to collect the data and pass the data source to the page block table. So it will be having the inbuilt tabular structure which will represent the records of the tabular format. Now, this tag is used to represent a table on the Visual Force page to be get used to display the records. Display the records in the tabular format. To display the records in the tabular format. It contains the inbuilt table structure. Inbuilt table structure by default. Inbuilt table structure by default. We have to supply the data source to the page block table. We have to supply the data source to the page block table so that it will iterate that collection. It will iterate the data source collection. Data source collection from starting to ending, and will represent each record in a separate row. Each record in a separate row. Then how can we represent the records in the tabular format by using this page block table tag? Now let's see practically, and what are the various properties are available as part of this tag. Now let me explain. Now, the properties. The first property, ID property. Okay, ID property. So we can specify the reference name in order to refresh only this particular table format. To represent only this, to refresh only this table, to identify this particular table on the entire Visual Force page, we are using this ID property. Next, second, rendered. Rendered property is used to indicate whether this table can be visible on the page or not. To display the table or not, we are going to be using this rendered property. You know this property here already. And the third one, value property. In this value property, we have to specify the collection name. What collection? List collection name. Okay. List collection name, which is used to indicate this is the list collection where exactly the records are available. So please display all these records in this particular tabular format. So this is the data source, nothing but list collection name, or this is also called as a data source, where exactly the records are available which you want to show in the tabular format. Next, where property. where property is used to give a reference. Okay, where property is used to give the reference. Reference for each record. Reference for each record. These are the 4 properties are available. Okay, we have ID property, rendered property, value property, and the var property. These are the 4 properties are available. So whenever if you want to show this page block table on your page, then this page block table tag should be a child component to page block table. So the page block. This should be always the child component to the page block. That means within the page block only we can place that page block table tag. This should be a child component to the page block. This should be the child component to the page block. That means within the page block only we have to use this page block table tag. Now, so now here in this case, how can we define this page block table tag? Next, whenever we are going to be using this page block table tag, page block table is going to be simply representing a table. Okay, it is simply representing a table, but no columns inside this. Okay, it will not be having any columns. Then how can we specify the columns? In order to add some columns over. In order to add some columns inside this page block table, we are going to be using a tag called as column tag. To add the columns to the page block table, we are using this column tag. Okay, now one more tag. Column tag. Apex. So what is the use of this tag over here? This tag is used to add a column to the page block table. Because upon representing the records, I want to add some columns inside the tables. So now in this case, we can raise a question. So through SQL queries, we are collecting the data, we are passing the data to the page block table to show. But in this case, through SQL queries, I have collected some 20 columns information. But in my table, I want to show only 12 columns information. Remaining 8 columns I don't want to show. At that time, we can decide what columns information to be visible inside your page block table over here. For that one, we can able to add the columns by using column tag. This tag is used to add the required columns to the page block table. This tag is used to add the required columns to the page block table. This tag is used to add the required columns to the page block table. We can add one or more columns to be used to represent the records. To be used to represent the record values inside the table. Okay. We can add one or more columns to be used to represent the record values inside the table. Now, note for it. This should be a child component to the page block table. Within the page block table only, we have to use this column tag over here. Within the page block table, we have to use this column tag. Then how can we use that? Okay, now let me explain what are the various properties are available. Properties. First property, ID property. ID property is used to indicate the reference name. As usual, you know that. Second property, rendered. That means you want to show this column or not. Dynamically at runtime, in some cases, we can able to hide the columns also at runtime. Depends upon your application requirement. We can hide some columns. Sometimes we can hide, sometimes we can show. For one user, we can display. For one user, we can hide this column also. Depends upon the user type, we can be able to do that functionalities as well. Next, the third one. The third property. Header value. Header value. Header value property is used to indicate. Okay, header value property is used to indicate the caption for the column. If you want to give the caption for the column, we can able to use that header value property. Next, the fourth property is value property. In this value property, we can able to specify the reference name. That means which column data. We can specify the reference name dot the field name. Okay, which field information you want to display over. We can specify the reference name and field name. These are the four properties are available as part of this column tag. So whenever if you want to display some records in the table or format, we are on the page, we are using this page block table tag, and within the table to add the columns, to form the columns, we are using this column tag also. Then how can we implement this one? Okay, how can we represent the page block table tag inside this? Okay, how can we represent the page block table tag in order to show the records? So before that, let me show you. Okay, before that, let me show you a small functionality which already we did, nothing different. So now, presume that the similar kind of requirement. I want to collect this record from the object. I want to represent the records in my debug log file. How can we do that? I want to collect this data from the database, and I want to show those records in my inside my debug log file. Then what we can do generally? How can we do that? No. So we can write an SQL query, collect the data, and then store inside that collection. And then that collection data we can represent on the debug log file by using system.debug statement. By using system.debug statement, we can able to represent that. Okay, this is the functionality we have to do. Now, so let me explain that functionality. Then I will show you how to use page block table. Okay, because if you know this one, then page block table concept is very, very easy for you. Very simple to understand. Now, so now here let me implement this. So in this case here, how can we represent? So first of all, we have to collect the records. I'm collecting the record. That means what I'm doing now, I am collecting all the records from the account object. I'm displaying on my debug log file. That's it. Okay. List of account. LST accounts equals to, I'm collecting the data by using SQL query. ID, name, rating, industry, annual revenue, phone, fax, and the customer priority, and the active status from account. Okay, from. We can add the conditions, whatever you want, you can do, no problem. Okay, I don't have any objection. So now we can collect all the records, or we can collect only some records by adding some wait clause, everything we can do, no problem. Once the records are available, what we are doing, we are displaying these records on the debug log file. How can we show? By using for loop? You know that concept. I'm using this enhanced for loop. I'm collecting each and every record SEC from LST accounts. I'm collecting each and every record from the collection, and then I'm representing it. How can we represent each and every column? System.debug statement. How can we show SEC.name? We can represent system.debug SEC.rating. System.debug SEC.annual revenue. System.debug SEC.active status. System.debug SEC.phone. Like that, we are representing the columns information, whatever you want. This is what the functionality we have to do generally when coming to the normal Apex program. So we are collecting the data. Okay, we are collecting these records from the object through the SQL query and storing those records inside my collection over here. And then that collection of records I'm representing on my debug log file by using enhanced for loop and system.debug state. Now, the same records I want to show on my Visualforce page. How? If you want to show these records on the Visualforce page in the tabular format, okay, how can we display the records on the tabular format? Now let me explain here. If you want to show those records on the Visualforce page on the tabular format, we have to use a page block table tag, right? Yes, Apex page block table by Apex page block. Now, why I'm giving this both information is now this page block table tag is exactly similar like as your for loop, enhanced for loop. In this enhanced for loop, what we did, we have passed the collection. Where is the records are available inside this collection? Here also we can pass. How value property? What is that value property? We can specify the collection name. Where is the records? LST accounts. Okay, accounts. Now in this case, inside this for loop, each and every record we are identifying how by using ACC. This is the reference variable here. Here also we are using a property called as var ACC. Simple, that's it. For loop is over. Compare this one. It is very easy for you, nothing else. That's what I'm displaying both the things. Now, this for loop is what it will do. It is collecting this collection. It will iterate each and every record from the collection starting to ending. Same concept the page block table will do. Page block table will go to this collection. In this collection, whatever the records are available, it will be iterating this collection from starting to ending and then collect every record and storing that record inside this ACC variable. That's it. Exactly like as enhanced form. Now, here I'm collecting each and every record I'm storing inside this ACC variable. How can we show? By using system.debug. So here I want to add that column over here. That's it. Apex column. Value equals to what value you want to show? Here I'm displaying in the system.debug acc.name. Here we are displaying that simply we can specify acc.name. That's it. Same concept. Here system.debug, here Apex column tag. That's it. Nothing else. Apex column value equals to acc dot rating. Now next one, Apex column value equals to acc dot industry. Apex column value equals to acc dot active status. Like that, we can able to represent the columns whatever we want. That's it. Simple concept. Now tell me any difficulties there? Nothing. Here for loop, here system.debug, here column. That's it. Yeah, tell me.
Just one question. Like in for loop, we are telling that ACC is account type, which name is list accounts. But in Apex page, where we are mentioning that is the account type.
No, we don't need to specify that here. We don't need to specify this one. In the page block table, it is referencing. It will go to the collection. Based on the collection, it will collect that collection type. What type of collection it is. Okay. Simply we can specify the collection name and we are defining that variable over here. Nothing but collect each and every record from this collection, store inside the reference variable. From there, we can display each and every column of this. We no need to indicate what type of record it is. Is it account? Is it contact or what? Because this page block table will internally do this operation for you by default. Okay.
Okay. So whether we will mention somewhere that this is an account type or something, because seeing that how we can see that it is an account type thing.
No, because here this is available in the collection, right? This is the collection, right?
Okay.
Here we have this collection, right? This collection name I'm passing over here. That's it. Now, if the collection is available, then we can able to represent this information inside this debug log file. This collection we can show in the debug log file by using this mechanism. We can show this collection in the Visualforce page by using this mechanism. That's it. Simple concept. Okay. Same collection I'm using over here. Now, so this is how we have to use the page block table over here. So we have to use the page block table tag, and then we can able to represent the records in the tabular format. So in the table, what columns to be get added, we can able to specify the columns information also inside this. Now, Let me show you now in this case. So let's take a small example and how can we represent the records on the Visual Force page in the tabular format. Let me take a small use case. So now my requirement is, for example, I'm having some account records. How many account records are there? I'm having some 47 account records. Now my requirement is, I want to collect all these 47 account records. I want to represent those records in my Visual Force page. Whenever my page is getting loaded, I want to collect all these 47 records from the database object. That means from the account object through an SOQL query. I want to store those records inside my list collection. This list collection records I want to pass to my pageable table to display the records in the tabular form. So in this case, what I want to do, I want to collect all the account records from the account object. Those records I want to represent on my Visual Force page in the tabular format. Then how can we do that? Now let's see practically in this case. Design a Visual Force page to represent all the account records in the tabular format while loading the page. Upon loading the page, I want to collect all the account records from the account object through an SQL query. I want to store those records inside my collection, and then those records I want to represent in my Visual Force page in the tabular form. So then how can we do this implementation? Now let's see practically in this case. So how can we represent these records in the tabular format? Now let's see practically. Let's see. So what needs to be done? First of all, we have to write this SOQL query first. Okay. So we have to prepare a controller class. In that controller class, we have to prepare a method. In that method, we have to write this SOQL query. This is the SOQL query we have to prepare. Where we need to write this SOQL query? Whenever you are loading the page, if you want to perform some operation, then what we can do? We can go with constructor. Why? Because previously in the last session I told you, in the constructor we can't perform DML operation, but SOQL queries will be collected. SOQL queries will be possible here. So I want to prepare a default constructor. In that constructor, I would like to write this SOQL query. So whenever my page is getting loaded, then it will be invoking the default constructor. So it will invoke this SOQL query. It will collect the records stored inside my collection. Then I want to represent this collection of records in my Visual Force page by using page block table tag by adding the required columns. Then how can we do that? Now let's see practically. Now let me design this. Let me prepare a page, Apex, show all accounts page, show all accounts page. Show all account records page. Now, so this is a page. Nothing is available right now. It is an empty page right now. Now, first of all, to display these records, we need to design a table. Okay. So for that one, let me go with the default designing. Nothing but some basic designing, like as default property setup equals to false, sidebar equals to false, show header equals to true, and the tab style equals to position object tab style. And I'm having that section header. Title equals to accounts. Subtitle equals to all accounts. Subtitle equals to all accounts. Next. After that, the next one, Apex Farm Tag. Apex Farm Tag. Now I would like to indicate the next one, Apex Page Block. Page block. I'm indicating the title equals to all accounts. All accounts. Here I want to show how many records are available. The count also I want to show. Inside this I want to show the count also. So now this is the page block over here which we have designed right. Here this is the page block. Now, so now I would like to prepare the page block table. For that one, we need to pass the controller class name right, nothing but collection name right. So that let me build the business logic right. How can we build the business logic? I'm using controller class. Controller equals to, I'm preparing the controller class name, show all accounts, records, controller. I'm preparing the class name by using show all account records controller. Let's save this. So with this name, there is no class has been defined. So I want to prepare the class. So click on the link, class will be getting prepared. Now I want to prepare a default constructor inside this. Okay, I'm preparing a default constructor. Like public class name, constructor name and the class name both should be exactly same. It's a fundamental principle of object-oriented program. Now, prepare default constructor. Prepare default constructor. I'm preparing this default constructor over. Now show all account records control. Here what we need to do, we need to write an SO table for it. Select ID of the account, name, rating, industry, annual revenue, phone, fax, type, ownership, active status, from account, order by name. So whatever the account records are available, I would like to collect all the account records over here, and those records I would like to arrange in the alphabetical order based on the name column in ascending format over here. That's what I'm using this order by name. If I'm not giving any order, then the default order is ascending. So now these records I would like to store where inside a collection. So I would like to prepare the collection. This collection of records where you want to show on my Visualforce page. So if you want to access any of that collection or object or variable, then we have to define that collection inside the class level with get and set. So I'm indicating public list of account LST accounts. I'm making it as get and set. Why? Because this collection data I want to access from Visualforce page. Now I'm creating the collection object. New list of account. Okay, I'm creating the object of this collection. I'm storing inside this LST accounts equals to, I'm storing this information. That's it. Okay, my business logic is over. Done. How to represent, we'll see now. In this case, what we did, just have prepared one collection over here. That means why I'm defining the collection inside that class level, because this collection data I want to access from Visualforce page. So that I've defined in the class level, and then whenever if you want to access this collection data from the Visualforce page, we have to make it as get and set. Okay, with the get and set accesses, we can able to implement this. We can access this collection data from Visualforce page. So I'm creating the object of the collection class, and then I'm storing the data by making an SO table code. That's it. Done. So this is the default constructor. So whenever the page is getting loaded, automatically default constructor will be getting invoked. It will execute this SO table query, collect the data, storing inside the collection automatically. Now how to represent this collection data in the page block table? Now let's see over. For that one, inside the page block, I'm preparing the page block table. Apex page block table. Here what we can do, we have to specify the same concept, nothing else. Value var property, that's it. Like as your normal enhanced for loop. Value property equals to specify the collection name. Where is that collection? LST accounts. We can give the reference name like as some ACCA, ABC, anything we can provide, no problem. and then I would like to add the columns. Apex column value equals to ACC dot name. Apex column value equals to ACC dot rating. Apex column value equals to ACC dot industry. Apex column value equals to ACC dot annual revenue. Apex column value equals to ACC dot type. Apex column value equals to ACC dot phone. Apex column value equals to ACC dot fax. Apex column value equals to ACC dot active status. I'm going to be representing this information inside my tabular format. So define the page black table. Inside the table, we can able to add the required columns. Now, so now here in this case, we are going to be representing this information. What are the data that were collected from the object through SQL query? That collection data I'm representing on my Visual First page. Okay. Now, let's save this one. Now, click on save. So whenever you are saving that, by default here it is going to be creating the object of this class. Then automatically default constructor will be getting invoked. It will execute the SQL query, store the data inside the collection. Collection can be accessible by my page black table, represent the records in tabular format. You can see the records in tabular format. Whatever the records are available, all the records information will be getting visible. Account name value, rating value, industry, annual revenue, type, phone, fax, active status, whole information we can see all the records. All the records we can see in the tabular format. So now here in this case, I want to show the total count also. For that one, how to collect that records count? Because these records are there in the collection. How to get the collection count? Size method. So simply we can able to specify that size. LST accounts dot size. That's it. Over. Okay. Specify that size. So now it is indicating how many number of records have been collected by SQL. You can see the total number of account records are 47. These records you can able to visible inside this. Okay. This is the way we can able to represent the records, okay, on the Visual First page in the tabular format. So in order to represent the records on the Visual First page in the tabular format, we are using the help of page black table tag and the column tag inside this. Okay. So let me place this code. Now, so this is how we are going to be collecting the data from the object through SQL query, and we can able to represent the records on the Visual First page in the tabular format. Now, let me go with one more enhancement over here. Now, for example, these other records are getting visible over here. Suppose when you go to my actual account records, when you go to my accounts tab, I can see these account records also. But these records are getting visible. The name is getting visible like as a hyperlink. The record name is visible like as a hyperlink, so that when you click on this hyperlink, the record will be getting opened over here. Record is getting opened. Like the similar way, what I want to do is, I want to display, upon displaying the records, okay, upon displaying the records inside my Visual First page. So upon displaying these records, I want to display this record name. Whatever the record name is available, this record name I want to show in the hyperlink format. So upon click on this hyperlink, the record has to be get open for you. The record detailed page has to be get open for you. Then how can we do that? Whenever if we want to display any column data in the hyperlink format, then we have to use a tag called as output link tag. Output link tag. Apex output. So what is the use of this output link tag? Output link tag is used to represent the content in the form of hyperlink format. Okay? Output link tag is used to represent the content inside the table in hyperlink format. In order to display some hyperlinks on your Visual Force page, we are using a tag called as output link tag over here. Then, how can we represent the content in the form of a output link? Now let's see practically what are the various properties are available. Output link tag is used to display some content in the form of a hyperlink, so that when you click on the hyperlink, it has to do some operation. That means it has to redirect the user to a specific Visual Force page or specific detail page, also anything. Okay, now in this case, how can we do that? Now let's see practically in this case. This tag is used to represent the specified content on the page in the form of a hyperlink. In the form of a hyperlink. Now, when the user click on the hyperlink, then it will redirect the user to the specified target page. The specified target page. So in this case, if we want to represent some hyperlinks on your Visual Force page, like when you go to the applications or the emails, will be having some hyperlinks, because click here or click here to view, like that. It is having so many hyperlinks. So like the similar way, if you want to represent some content in the form of hyperlinks, then we can go with that output link tag. Now the syntax. Before that, let me go with the properties. Let me go with the properties. The first property is ID property. ID property is used to specify the reference name based on which we can able to identify this particular output link tag. Second one, rendered property. Rendered property is used to indicate whether this control can be nothing but hyperlink can be visible on the page or depends upon the user we can place. For one user, hyperlink should be visible. For one user, hyperlink should be invisible. Like that we can do. Now, the next one. Value property. In this value property, we have to specify the variable name. Okay, variable name. That means here we can specify the reference name dot field name. That means which field information you want to show. Okay, which field information we have to specify. Value in the sense we have to specify the target page over. We can specify the target page name. That means upon click on this hyperlink, what target page you would like to open over here. You can specify the path of the target page. Path of target page. Which page you would like to redirect. Fourth one, target. Where you want to open that page over here. Like as you can specify blank in the blank tab or in new window. Like that we can able to specify that. Now this kind of functionality already we did as part of email templates concept in the custom email templates by using that HTML tags. So now for example, if you want to represent some content, like as for example, this is having content, like as click here. This content I want to show in the form of hyperlink, so that we can specify, place this content in between that output link tag, like as Apex output link. Output link in between that by Apex output link. Okay. Whenever we are going to be representing some content between this output link tag, this is the starting of the tag, this is the ending of the tag. In between that, whatever the content that we displayed, that will be getting visible in the form of hyperlink. Okay. Now, so now upon click on this hyperlink, what you want to do? I want to redirect the user. Okay, I want to redirect the user over here. So now where you want to redirect, we can specify the value property. value equals to, suppose I want to redirect the user to that salesforce.com website. So I'm indicating http www.salesforce.com. Please open that Salesforce website. Upon click on this hyperlink, upon click on this option, click here. Please open this salesforce.com website. Where you want me to open that? Here I would like to specify target equals to underscore blank. Nothing but please open inside a blank tab over here. Please open this Salesforce website inside a blank tab. Like the similar way, we can able to specify that path of that page also to which you would like to redirect the user, and then we can indicate where that page has to be get open. Now let's see how can we indicate this one inside my current page. So these are the records are available. Each and every record should be get this name should be get visible in the form of a hyperlink. How can we show this record name in the form of hyperlink? Here now let me show. Here I would like to use this one. So this is the column tag. In this column, I'm representing this content, but this content I want to show in the form of hyperlink. So that what I want to do is I'm going to be indicating this. Simply the column tag by column. Okay. This is the column tag over. I'm preparing a separate column tag. No names over here. I would like to specify the column header as, that means header value. Header value equals to account name. Okay, account name. I'm displaying the column header as account name over here. Header value equals to account name. This is the column name I'm indicating. This is an empty column. In this column, what you want to do, I want to show the column, nothing but account record name in the form of hyperlink, so that we can able to use that output link tag. Output link, I'm indicating that account record name, acc.name. Okay, whatever the account record name is available, I want to represent in the form of hyperlink. That's it. Let's see. So it is indicating that each and every record name will be getting visible in the form of a hyperlink. Every record name will be getting visible in the form of hyperlink. But when I click on this hyperlink, nothing will happen. Just the same page will be getting refreshed because we haven't indicated any target and value, nothing. Now, upon click on this hyperlink, what you want to do? I want to open that page. How to open the page? Now we can specify the value property. Value property. So now here in this case, how to open that page? Suppose, for example, I'm having this account record over here. Whenever I'm opening this account record, it is indicating that, okay, it will be having ap15.salesforce.com/record ID will be available. So where is the record ID? Now we can collect the record ID .acc.id, because here inside my SQL query, we have collected the record ID also. I'm collecting acc.id, but we have to give the slash over. That's it. Done. Whatever the account record that you have click on that selected account records ID, it will collect, it will be adding the slash, okay, along with that it will be adding the record ID, it will redirect. Where we can open that record, we can specify the target property, target equals to underscore blank. That means I want to open this record in a blank tab, in a separate tab here. That's it. Okay, so upon click on this account record name, please open that account records detail page by using this based on this account record ID, and then open that record inside the blank tab. That's it. Now, let's see. So now these are the records are available. Upon click on this American Banking Corporation, it will open the record automatically. I can see my record details over. Now, when you go to this record here, like some edge communication, click on this record will be getting open for me. In the detail page, I can see that record information also, respective accounts and all associated contacts, also opportunities, cases information, everything we can able to see. So now upon click on this, because Greenwich Media, we can able to see that record information also. This record is getting visible. So upon click on this, Jackson Controls, it is representing that record information also. So that directly we can able to open the record. Not only representing the records in the tabular format, we can represent that record names in the hyperlink format also. So upon click on that hyperlink, we can redirect the user to the detail page of the record also. That facility is available as part of this output link tag. Okay. This is how we are using that output link tag inside your Visualforce pages. Let me place this code. Represent the account name in the form of a hyperlink. Upon click on the name, redirect the user to the detail page of the selected account record. Let me place this code. Okay. So this is how we can able to represent the records on the tabular format, and then we can able to show some columns information in the form of hyperlinks also. Okay. So now, as of now, we have collected all the records from the object, and we are able to represent all the records. But in some cases, I don't want to show all the records on my Visualforce page. I don't want to show all the records. I don't want to collect all the records from the object to represent on the detail page, on the Visualforce page. I want to have a search functionality like this. Like, for example, I would like to have a search functionality. I would like to have a search functionality like this. I want to design the user interface like this. Here I will enter some characters, like as for example, I'm entering some characters, some United. Okay. I'm entering some characters over here. United. So when I click on the search accounts, whatever the account records are available, whose name is starting with the characters United, only those records I want to fetch. Okay, whatever the account records are available, which are having the name which is starting with United, only those records has to be visible, not all. Suppose if I'm giving the value, okay, suppose if I'm giving the value, suppose if I'm giving the value like as some Ram, then whatever the records are available, whose name is starting with the name Ram, those records has to be visible, like as Ram, Ramesh, okay, Ramana, okay, like that. Whatever the records are available, those records has to be visible. That means dynamically I want to search the records also by passing the input value at runtime. I don't want to collect all, I want to fetch only some specific records. Then how can we pass this value at runtime? How can we search the data? How can we collect? How to show in the user interface in the tabular format? How to display the name in the form of hyperlink? How to read the user to the detail page upon click on that name? We'll see practically in tomorrow's session. Okay, in tomorrow's session, we'll see how to implement the dynamic search mechanism. We'll see practically in tomorrow's session as well. Okay.